Alright, back to what I was saying. So, basically, I think that kind of made me think, like, I never understood her and why she did what she did. But so, like, she didn't flirt with the guy anymore. I think she still did. But so, after, like, I told her, like, way in, because I realized, I was like, this business is going to get shut down. Like, there's a bunch of shit I realized. I was like, dude, they're going to get shut down. Like, I'm telling you, like, it won't even be, like, 2 more months. Like, if they're forgetting to pay you and other workers and shit, like, and not sending out schedules, like, that's a bad thing. They're definitely closing down. They closed down, like, 2 months later. So, anyways, we're just going through it, and, like, when I was talking to her, she was going to a different school. And it was kind of like a school I had been thinking about going to, because the school I was going to at the time wasn't good. Like, it was this really stupid fucking, like, private school, basically. And it was, like, hella coke addicts. And that's not, like, trying to be exaggerative. Like, no, like, literally one of my friends, his sister, who's 13, is in middle school there, and got grounded by her parents because they found out that she did coke. Like, it's that bad there. Because, like, my town is, like, people who make less than $30K a year, you know, there's a middle ground. But then there's, like, dead ass, like, more, like, on a county level, I guess you could say. But it's, like, multi-millionaires. Like, Justin Bieber and a bunch of other celebrities have houses in the county. Like, you go, like, 30 minutes out on the other part of town, and there's, like, multi-millionaire houses. Like, when I was working at for, like, a tree company where we'd, like, cut down trees and all that, you know, like, he I don't know what I'm saying. I had, like, seen, like casual 4-story houses that were huge, but it was weird just, like, getting to go on those places. But that's besides the whole point. Where was I at? Okay, so she was going to a different school, which was, like, the bad thing about it is, like I said, there's a good difference of income. And it's, like, there's a lot more, of course there's a lot more poor than rich, but there's also, it was, like, a pretty high balance of it. Like, I would say, like, 30% more in that income. So, anyways, so she was at this other school, and the school I was at, I had friends, like, a lot of friends there. Like, I was in a friend group of, like, 12 people, right? And so, I was, like, way into Savannah, and, like, I had just, like, really stopped hanging out with them and all that. And then I realized over summer that I should try hang out with them more. I never really got to, because, like, basically, one of the last things that happened before I was switching schools, they, like, let me backtrack. I regretted not hanging out with them over the summer. But so basically, like, some shit happened, and I kept saying, like, no, because I'm gonna go with my girlfriend. And then I had a plan with them. Like, I finally was, like, able to, like, get a plan going with them. And then my best friend at the time was like, hey, this other kid doesn't want you riding in the car. Can you go to this other car so we can go there? And it's, like, a 3-hour drive. And I'm talking to these people, and they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to sit in the trunk with all the luggage. I'm like, what the fuck? The other car, by the way, had my best friend and one other person. So basically, like, after that, I was like, what the fuck? Hell no. And, like, I told him I wasn't going then. If I couldn't ride in that other car, if y'all were gonna stuff me in the trunk, I wasn't gonna fucking go. Like, it doesn't make sense. So, and that other kid, I fucking hated. His name was Everett. Like, everyone knew he lied the whole time. He said when he was, like, 12, he was like, yeah, I want a paintball world championship. I just don't have the trophy right now. But he said shit like that all the time. That's just an example. But basically, like, throughout the whole time of me dating her with those friends, I was kind of just, it was kind of not getting great. My friends were kind of saying shit about her, and I was defending her. And they kind of knew what she was doing, and I think they, like, I didn't like hearing them tell me that like what she was doing was wrong, because she's flirting with guys all the time, and like all that. So then summer comes around. That was a time when I just became like, I was working at a brunch place that year, but basically like I just became like obsessed with her. If I wasn't at fucking at work, I was with her. And I don't even know how she had the time, because like we'd hang out for so fucking long, like from like on weekends we'd hang out from like 10 in the morning till like 12 at night. But I'd still find out that like I'd find like a text, and it wouldn't even be like a flirt text, like it started becoming like a sexting. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, the bad thing is I never fucking left. I should have, because it was like repeat offense, like serial sexter and flirter, like mass serial sexter. But like basically like just she had started trying to like, I'm 99% sure about this, and that she was just deleting the nudes because she knew if she was caught with that it'd be too much. But I'm 99% sure that she was getting guys to send her like, not 90% sure. She told me, she was like, I'm sorry, I've been doing it for Discord Nitro. Like, these guys, I'll just take advantage of them and send them Discord Nitro, or they'll send me Discord Nitro or whatever for her nudes. I was just like, okay, like, I don't know why the fuck I put up with that at all. I never did. But I was still working, and like, you know, our little 3 months, 6 months, all those anniversaries come up, and like we'd celebrate them. And I was spending all my money on her, like all my fucking money. Because when I started dating her, I was working another job at this stupid fucking restaurant, and like she was working too, so I didn't think anything of it. But that's besides the whole point. But like, it was all really weird, and like every time I confronted her, she was like, you know that thing about they're not sorry that they did, they're sorry that it got caught. Well, I never really thought about that, and it was obvious with her that was the truth. But like, I mean, I just can't remember anymore, because it's been over 2 years now, so it's like, you know, it's hard to remember, but like the exact examples. But I do remember at one point her ex added me, and he was talking hella shit, and this was like 2 weeks before, no, not 2 weeks, like maybe a month before August 10th. So he texted me, and I was like, he was like doing some weird shit. I was like, I don't remember, but basically I found out that he was stalking my profile. And I messaged him, I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, blah, 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 talking mad shit and all that. And he's like, you know, Savannah told me she once got pregnant. I was like, what the fuck? I talked to her, and she's like, no, I'm not pregnant. And I asked her a few times, because like, you know when people get pregnant, they get like a line here? Well, she just had this tiny little line on the like bottom of her belly button. And I was like, oh, it could just be a stretch mark, you know, because she was on the bigger side. So I wasn't too worried. But and none of her parents knew. But so basically, roll around August 10th, I get a text from her dad in the morning while I'm at work. He's like, hey, I want you to freak out, but Savannah had to go to the hospital last night. That's why you haven't gotten any messages from her. She wanted me to text you to let you know that everything's gonna be okay. Just some big life changes. And so I'm like, I'm worried now, because you just told me my girlfriend's in the ER, and in my brain, because it's my first like serious girlfriend, I'm like, it's the love of my life in the hospital, like I need to be there. And they're like, no, don't come, trust us, just stay at work or go home. And I'm like going crazy at this point. So I was like, I need to go home. I was crying to my manager. They're like, okay, you can go. So I went home. Like, I'm texting her dad, and her dad like fucked me up for like 10 minutes, because like I texted him and I was like, is it cancer? He texted, no, it's cancer. And for like 10 minutes, didn't even realize that he did that until he went back and texted me again. And I was like, oh shit, no, it's not cancer, sorry. And so later that day, Savannah texted me and she was like, at some point in this morning, August 10th, I had a baby. That's how she texted me. She's like, I think it was, I want to say, (1:15). At 1:15 this morning, I had a baby. And I'm just like I didn't know how to respond at first, and but then to me it was like, I knew it wasn't mine. And so, go back. When I was talking to her in December, she was still with this guy, and I was like flirting with her too, so if I knew that then, I probably wouldn't have been talking to her, because I wouldn't talk to someone who has a boyfriend, but I didn't fucking know that she had a boyfriend. December is when he got her pregnant. So I was talking to her while she was pregnant too. So basically, the parents, because they're super Christian, were like, you're not gonna put it up for adoption or anything. This is your kid to take care of now, blah blah blah. Which, you know what, it's our fucking mistake. And they should have said something to our parents, because living with your parents and then being like, hey, I got a kid, we gotta get this house kid ready, like right then is like fucked up. So her dad was under a lot of stress and all that. And also, I'm sorry, her parents, like, I like her dad, but her dad was really defensive and like didn't have a cap on his humor, because he'd always make jokes about like, you know, if you like, and it was like, even after, like, even once we hit our anniversary, he was like, you know, if you ever fuck up, my dad has a lot of land and there's a lot of areas to bury you. I was like, okay, whatever. I was tired of that. And then the mom would occasionally hit me. So why I stayed, I don't know. The whole family is shit, because even the sisters, no matter what I did, hated me. So it was just like fucking stupid as saying. But yeah, you got, holy fuck, you got a long video. I'm gonna try to speed this up. Baby comes. Alright, so because of all the shit that happened with my friends, they no longer talk to me. So I lost all my friends. I'm going to this new school. August 10th. 2 days later, August 12th was the first day of school. So I was supposed to be going to this school that Savannah was in, and like, we were supposed to have classes with each other and stuff. Well, she wasn't going to school because she was just fresh out of having a baby. And so I went to this new school, not knowing anybody, not knowing how to handle the fact that this girl who I've been with for like half a year now had another person's kid, and like, you know, just fucking like, now everyone at the school knows that she had a kid, and they soon found out that she was my girlfriend. So now everyone knows that, oh, this new kid is raising someone else's kid. So some people thought it was my kid, and then other people thought it was someone else's, because they knew it wasn't mine, if they knew me. So it was, and then that got spread around, because people were talking like, no, it's not his kid, he's raised someone else's. So, and then it was just hard to explain everything, because it wasn't like, it wasn't out of consent, new kid. So, that's why I also felt bad. I was like, because she had told me about it, and he admitted to it. He admitted to it when he texted me. He was like, yeah, I sexually assaulted her. So what? Like, yeah. So, anyways, so I'm at this new school, having a hard time there, because like, basically I knew nobody, but the one person I did know was from my old school. It was someone who like constantly tried to start shit with me. So at one point I just like couldn't deal with it anymore. I basically beat his ass. Not really, I fucking choked him and then slammed him into a locker. But anyways, so while I'm raising her, helping her raise her kid, I'm there every day. I'm changing diapers, I'm feeding the baby. I'm there to help her put the baby to bed and all that. there was this one guy named Donovan, and Donovan was this, excuse my lingo, fat ass motherfucker, like 300, almost peaking to 300 pounds, huge, would like basically like get her snacks all the time and would flirt with her, and it would like on Mother's Day he texted her and was like, "Happy Mother's Day, mommy," and I told her, I was like, don't let him fucking say that shit to you. That's fucking weird, like, especially with how he was acting about other stuff, because he'd always be like saying the weirdest shit, and it was like, dude, like, you got a boyfriend, and I'm staying right here, and he's saying this shit. And like every time she was talking to him, and I was there, he'd be like, "Oh, he's here. Yes, I'm here, motherfucker." So, anyways, at one point, he was just saying some like outlandish shit, like actual like sexual comments, like true sexual comments about her. I was like, okay. I'm not gonna lie, I was controlling in that, but I think I became controlling because I said about it, like, "Hey, don't do this," and she kept doing it, so I was just getting controlling over. I was like, okay, well, blah, and like, that was it of me, but it's not like I was in a healthy situation, so big shocker, right? But so anyways, middle of like, by the way, so which you can't even see, there's like a little scar from it. So the day where I was going crazy at this point, it was like October, almost my birthday. And this guy was blocked. Nothing was really happening with him, but do you remember Yik Yak? If you ever had that app, it was like some anonymous app where you could like text whatever you wanted in and all that. So, which, by the way, yeah, you got the whole tea. Like Boston Tea Party tea. So I was just hearing shit all the time on that anonymous app of people talking shit. And one of them was Donovan was one of them. He was always saying shit and like about how much money he had and like and like, this is why she still texts me and yada yada. So I was kind of getting hints from someone that, but the thing is, she had so many social medias, and on Discord, it's not like you use your fucking like actual profile picture or the same name. So he had a few fake accounts, and I didn't know. But so I was going like crazy because I found multiple things of her texting people. So I blew up on her, like, dude, who else would fucking stay to help you raise a kid? Like, fucking grow up. And so basically, that's when I went like really crazy. I got put on antidepressant meds. They made it even worse, and that's when I tried to, kill myself. Thankfully, both times my parents caught me, and then I think it was that same day where I tried to basically, because NyQuil makes you sleepy. I tried to take like 2 packs of pills of NyQuil and hope that it would just like I'd go to sleep and never wake up. But I probably would have just had like some really bad organ failure and been fucked up for a long time. So, but that day I found her texting fucking
Do I need a subcut pickaxe to break this? Nope.
a guy again, and our conversation about it got cut short because she had to go feed the baby and all that, and I was not handling it well. So I'm sitting in the car crying, and like her dad walks out, sees me crying, just looks at me and walks away. And like at that point I was like, well, if nobody else cares about me, why should I care about myself? And I had a pocket saw, and that's when I literally just started like and basically she found out that I was doing that, and like this was like the one moment where it felt like she really cared about me the most. When she found out I was doing that, she came outside, walked up to me, slapped me in the face, and took it out of my hand and then hugged me. And that was a very confusing moment for me. I was like, why the fuck would you be doing that to yourself? Like, what the fuck? And so I just kind of I was angry after all that, like, for a long time, and I still am. But basically, go down to like December. So she got some like pity black belt in Taekwondo, because she'd been doing Taekwondo for a few years, but she got pregnant, and they gave it to her while she still had after she had the kid. I was like, she hadn't even been training for like ever. Like ever. But so she was doing these like little classes with her friends, and she had me going with her. I have a bunch of stuff that I've done. Not like any to high. Like the highest I got was like what I think one above a blue belt. I know I got a blue belt, but I think I also got one above in another thing. But so basically, like we were doing these classes, and she invited Donovan without telling me. The kid that I was like, hey, this kid's like making comments and he's giving you shit all the time. And there's a history of you give shit, people give you shit, you give them shit. So, like, and I had also along the way kind of like sometimes thought she would like catch up when she was on me, because some days like it'd be different, you know, that type of deal. So, yeah, so I kind of knew around then, and so basically, sorry, just thinking about this shit pisses me off. But basically, he was going to do the classes, and like, I was like, so you're trying to train to fight, okay? That's good for you. I was like, you think you're gonna do good? And he was like, yeah, give me 3 months. I'm gonna be hitting the gym, and I'm gonna beat your ass. And I was like, okay, 3 months. I gave him the exact date, 3 months, or it's 4 months or something. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, we'll fucking fight. And for a while, I saw him going to the gym, and then
Yeah, I have almost 2 full rows of iron.
I realized, I for some reason thought she wasn't talking to him during this time, but that he was getting the information from someone else that he knew there. I found his all accounts, and he was just saying like whack ass shit about me, and like how he knew I was gonna. He was like this is what it was. I was like, that's why I asked him. I was like, so you're gonna fight me for something? And he's like, yeah. Like, give me 3 months, and I'll beat your ass, and Savannah will be mine. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. But so that happened, and then, you know, I'm training with a guy who says he's gonna beat my ass for my girlfriend. And I was like, I was never like happy with him. I guess I was giving him mean looks, which I was actually making sure I never looked at him so I didn't get fucking mad. I know I wasn't trying. I was making sure I wasn't looking at him. But so he like stopped going, and so then I was like, you fucking scared him away. He said that you were giving him mean looks, and he felt intimidated. Okay, good. And second of all, why do I give a fuck? But so he kind of still kept going to the gym, and then he stopped. And as far as I'm concerned, he's still the exact same way. Very Discord mod. So that was kind of like where it got shit, and we started to spiral. I was like, why the fuck would you invite this guy? So we had like 2 months down till anniversary, February 15th. This was in December, the Fight Club stuff. Oh, and then she wanted to fight me a few times for practice. I was like, okay. And every time I would fight her, she'd be like trying to go crazy. And I was just like, I wasn't trying at all, but like sometimes I'd land a kick, and the stuff in like Muay Thai, it doesn't really matter if you kick the inside of someone's leg. Actually, sometimes you want to. And she's like, you keep kicking me in the inside of your leg like a bitch. Or inside of my leg like a bitch. It hurts. Stop it. I was like, meanwhile, she's throwing head kicks at me. I was like, okay, my bad. You know, I'll chill out. So then I just spent the whole time, every time she'd throw a kick at me, I'd try to catch and put her on the ground instead. So basically, like, that, I mean, it was like, I would say it was every 3 weeks or so I found her flirting with a guy, so that's why I can't remember. But basically, by the end of our relationship, I found out, again, she was texting Tom, and I was like, really? She's like, yeah. She just got like, she didn't care. She was doing it all out in the open. So the last day, it was the day where we ended. She was like flirting with a guy literally sitting next to me, like not giving a fuck. I was like, are you fucking serious? And she's like, it's just a friend. I was like, no, that's not how you text a fucking friend. And basically, I drove her home, and like, I was like, why the fuck are you doing this, crying, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I skipped the one part. So, keep in mind, like, I'm not working anymore because I'm focused on school and all this, and I spent all my time with her and raising her kid, and the money was coming from her parents and everything, so it wasn't like I had to spend money. I was just doing all the actions to raise a kid. So she like, sorry, I'm looking at the timer, dude, you're fucked. So like, we went on our anniversary date, right? And we went to this Korean barbecue. It was expensive as fuck. And also, my car only gets 10 miles per gallon, and I drove us for 2 hours. So it was a lot in fucking gas money. I'd spent like over $200 in gas. And I'd spent like, I basically was like, hey, can we split the bill? But basically I'm not trying to be mean. She would kind of dress goth sometimes, and then she'd try to wear other colors, like pink. And she'd wear these big, like, quinceañera, you know what I'm trying to say, that when a girl turns 15 in, like, Hispanic culture, not that big, but, like, big, poofy dresses that were, like, poofy, but they'd get cut off to, like, here, and, like, sparkly and all that, and, like, then she'd have on makeup, and it was, like green under eyeshadow and stuff, and it's like stuff that wasn't matching, and it was and like purple lipstick. It was like a kid got into their parents' fucking makeup drawer for the first time. And like, if she did other makeup, she'd do it good, but she could not do like colors at all. But she didn't care. And basically, so we're doing this date, and every time like we'd split pay, she'd make me feel really bad about it. Like she'd try to, because I wasn't paying for it, because she was a gold digger, basically, which I realized so fucking late. But she would like, we had this person serving us, and I was like, hey, we're gonna split the bill at the end. And he was like, you're gonna split the bill with this? Look how pretty she is. And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, but she looks like a fucking clown. I was pissed. I was just like, whatever, because the whole time she was pissed off at me, like trying to make me believe that I should be paying. And it was expensive. It was expensive. I paid $80 for myself. She paid like $60 for herself. I was like, dude, I spent like almost $300 on this trip, and that's not including any gifts, which she basically got me like nothing, because I got her gifts for Valentine's Day and our anniversary because they're right next to each other. She like got me fucking maybe a stuffed animal if I remember right. But she liked to make shit so she didn't have to spend money on me. But so basically, like, she so ride back, right? We're driving. I'm driving, sorry. I put in my address, and like, it took us like 4 hours fucking out of the way. So now I've been driving for 4 hours. It's super late. And I'm trying to keep myself awake, because we haven't even seen gas stations on this highway I'm on. And she's like, she just blows up on me out of nowhere. She's like, I'm gonna be late. I'm not gonna be able to fucking take my kid to sleep and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, you're playing your fucking music and I'm trying to sleep and you couldn't turn it the fuck down. I'm like, dude, you never fucking asked me to turn it the fuck down. Like, she's like yelling at me, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you need to communicate with me what the fuck you want, because it's now 10 o'clock and I'm trying to keep myself awake with music. If me playing my music for the last hour and a half hasn't been able to make you fucking sleep, you should have said something. But she didn't, and she just fucking wasn't non-stop bitching about it. So now I'm 4 hours out. I have to call her dad, be like, hey, I'm sorry, because she wasn't going to say anything to her dad. I was like, basically apologize. And it's like, okay, well, get her home as soon as you can. I'm like, yeah, sorry. So I don't even know what happened with my map, because I put in my actual address and it put me way out of the way. So now I'm heading back, and we finally get there, and like, she's all pissed off, doesn't even say goodnight to me, walks away. But I don't know why I ever like dressed her, because she'd always do that thing where it'd be like I like, the more I think about it, it's more like, because she'd always be like, hey, good night, I'm going to bed, and then I'd see her snap score go up the entire fucking night. It was one of those ones. But yeah, so I think I told you how it ended. Like, she was texting right in front of me, and I was just like, I couldn't do this. But she broke up with me, because I'm very like, I'll try to work something out until like it can't anymore. Like, I always believe something can be fixed, and that's why I kept being dragged through. But now you really know the whole tea. Sorry, you got a whole episode to watch. Yeah.